Yo, 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 yo. At least I can edit this part.
Yeah, buddy, we here. Uh-huh. Yeah, we're gonna get into that in a minute. That's it. We'll get into that in a minute. Once again, welcome out. Glad y'all tuned in. Once again, this is the Good Dope Podcast. We checking in live via YouTube and on our StreamYard page today. So we just coming from a bunch of different angles today. We got a special guest in the building. We'll get to that in a minute. Good morning, Marley. How are you?
What's up? What's up? What's up? Girl, Marley, babe.
How was your holiday weekend, your Halloween and all that? How was it?
Oh, shit. What happened? I don't even remember the weekend. You know how that go. You know how that go. Like, it's so much going on in the weekend. You forget. But it was good. I'm here, right?
Well, we partied.
Did we party?
Oh,
yeah. See?
Shout out to Riverside Marina.
Shout out to Jason over there at Riverside Marina. Holding it down. Yeah. Only black-owned marina.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Around in Metro Detroit. It's good look.
Had a lot of money hitters in the room, too. I was impressed.
Really?
Yeah, it was a lot of money hitters in the room.
Real money hitters or wannabe money hitters?
No, it was ball players in the room. Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good for them.
We got one of them here.
Good for him. He lied.
We got one of them.
He lied.
One of the power players in the world.
He lied. I was Wonder Woman with my best friend. Like, I wasn't even planning on going to the party. Like, she was like, because I forgot about it. And she the one told me you was DJing. I said, how the hell did I not know the Hen House is DJing?
We talked about it. I told you what it was.
I think I need to go get my head checked because I be forgetting about stuff.
No, that's like
I was like, oh, Hen House there. I gotta go. We gotta go. I was like, but I don't have a costume. She's like, girl, I got you.
What are friends? That's good friends.
I got you.
All I got was my camouflage. Here, put this on.
You were spinning though, like
it was cool though. I had a good time.
You were spinning, like you really was. You was making it happen, bro.
Everything was good on that side. I enjoyed my weekend. I enjoyed a good Michigan football game. Unfortunately for that situation at the end, we ain't gonna dwell on it, but it's sad news. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What's up with that? You gonna lose and fight at the same time?
It sounds like the old Marford High School days. You know, you lose the game, but you won the fight, especially at home. But
listen, I hope nobody took off a helmet.
Oh no, they did.
Because that's a felony.
Serious. Yeah, it's serious. And there's already been a lawyer put in place for the player from Michigan. His family have obtained legal advice. So he got to be faced with not only being kicked off the football team, but how to get kicked off already.
They
already suspended.
Wow.
And they're looking at criminal investigation on this. It ain't gonna be pretty, and it's on video. You know what I mean? It's hard
before you act, it's hard to commit any crime. Everything is on video.
Exactly. And that more than anything, it goes back to that conversation all there about.
Yeah.
This is the stuff that y'all do. Y'all should be more aware of this than anybody.
Yeah.
It's a camera somewhere, catch it every single moment.
Get out your feelings, man.
It's just.
So, Henhouse, I gotta say something. You might take offense to this.
Go ahead, I'm listening.
I've been finding it that more men are so in their feelings, like so emotional and react in such a emotional state than I grew up on.
I wouldn't take offense to that because I'm not one of those guys. I mean, at the end of the day, we looking at these young guys that are out here. It ain't necessarily just young ones. It's a bunch of old grown ones.
Listen, I'm not even talking about the young ones.
It's a bunch of old grown ones. It's the exact in that same space, and it's only because they are who they are.
Yeah.
That's the reality of it. They are who they are. There's no getting around that. That's guaranteed. One time for the real men to still roam around out here trying to make things happen.
Shout out. Can we do a clap? Like some kind of, you know what I'm saying? Woo!
Yeah, we got
shout out to the real men, because I mean, for real.
Absolutely. All
right, so now I kind of remember my weekend was kicked off on Thursday. So
that means it was a hell of a weekend. It's all a blur.
So what is it called? Prime 29? I want to call it D Prime, but D Prime is in the MGM. Okay. So Prime 29 and West Bloomfield had their VIP 10 Years of Excellence celebration. That was kind of fun.
Okay.
That was fun.
All right.
Yeah, and
Sound
then
like a high-end event.
it was cute.
All
It
right.
was good. It
All
was
right.
it was a dope event. It was something like I would do. I miss doing stuff like that.
Okay. Understood.
Yeah, it was cool. The only thing I didn't like, and I probably shouldn't say it because I probably won't get another invite, so I'm gonna keep that to myself. But it was good. It was I want to be cut off. I want to be cut off. So yeah, it was a good event. So I've never really had dinner there though.
Okay.
Have you ever been to?
Nope.
It's right by Churchill's in West Longfield.
Okay. How was the food?
Food was good, spectacular.
How was the service?
It was good.
Okay. Well, then it's a win.
The ambiance was good. Everything was good.
Those are the main things for me. If the service good and the food good, I can deal with everything else.
So I went to sleep at about 2:00 working, woke up at about 6 working, and the first thing I woke up to was your man's.
Yeah, unfortunately, bad news. We were informed early this morning that we lost Takeoff from the group Migos.
So
killed in Houston, Texas.
Yeah, so they were gambling, right? Like at a bowling alley, right? And so literally all he did from what they say is he just stood up to see what was going on, and then the bullet caught him.
Yes.
It wasn't meant for him,
yeah,
but
exactly. It wasn't meant for him.
That's something.
And actually what they're saying is it was probably someone that was in his entourage that actually was the one who fired the shot.
And can you imagine how he feels right now?
Of course.
But why are you shooting though? Like, what happened? Did you lose? Like, don't you know that that's what's gonna happen if you're gambling?
Well said, and I did get a screenshot from, I would say, a reliable source. Let me see if I can find it real quick.
Okay.
That says basically, one of them was getting hit in the pockets really hard during their gambling. Let me try to find it. Let me see where it is. There it is, right there. All right. So, so Quavo was shooting dice, and he was getting his pockets broke off bad. So dude had an attitude, and he tried to get.
He was trying to shoot at Quavo.
Well, it wasn't that he was shooting at Quavo. It was one of Quavo's guys that was with him. Quavo was actually getting hit as far as he was losing.
But dog, listen to what I'm saying.
But let me finish.
Go ahead, because this is crazy.
So, dude tried to had an attitude, tried to get aggressive with the wrong mob ties, N-word. They say they're not gonna name drop, and dude got off on his ass. Then someone jumped up. That's when everyone bunched up, and then shots just rang out. They were coming from nowhere. No one knew where they were coming from. Migos was just there. But long story short,
they probably had a performance in Houston.
Yeah, that's what they was. It was Jay Prince's son's birthday. They was just in a car maybe an hour, 2 hours prior to that, riding through the city.
Man, that's crazy. And so the album was just released.
Yeah, a video just came out. A video just came out. Yes, Monday. Early Monday. Sunday night, early Monday. Yeah.
Yesterday.
Yeah. Early. Yeah. Here today, gone today. Not even tomorrow. Today. Sad. The hip hop community's been going crazy. It's been a lot of tributes going out. I was just on the way here, listening to one of the stations, and they's like, we gonna tribute the whole day to them, and I get it, I understand.
So the last interview that he did, he was basically saying, "Give me my." He literally ended the interview with, "I want my flowers now I'm alive." That's crazy. That was an interview he did last week.
Yeah, that's crazy. So,
all right, well, rest in peace. And
peace
I don't even know what that's like. Not even enough to say.
Yeah,
do you know what I'm saying? Like, he has family, people who love him, and the bullet wasn't even meant for him. The bullet should have been meant for anyone. Let's just start there.
Right, absolutely. Just the idea that you there, and out of nowhere you out of there, completely out of there, and they wasn't even sure, but they said Quavo and Takeoff was there together. Quavo was not shot, but Takeoff was and killed. They don't know if it was a shot to the head or if he was shot in the neck.
It was in the ribs. One shot in the ribs.
So
I don't know if you guys are up on Community, right? There's an app called Community. And so I was thinking about we should probably start and do our podcast and link Community onto it.
Okay.
Because it's so dope. It's like so many people from everywhere can just kind of come on, and nobody sees anybody's face. It's like your picture, and everybody's got this conversation. If you want to jump into the conversation, you can raise your hand or whatever, but it's like, it is mad dope a way of communicating. So this one was a hip hop one, right? And so they were just kind of talking about when you losing that bad, it'd be the ones that literally they didn't really have it to gamble with in the first place.
Right.
So they just like it's a slow walk back to the car when
Yep.
you know you've lost all you had.
Yep.
So yeah, so that
Yeah.
I mean that reminds me of how proof. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like just
absolutely.
when you in those places and people
Absolutely.
just get ignorant.
Yep.
And you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like we gotta be careful, y'all.
Yeah.
We gotta
Absolutely.
be careful. Like,
Once again, rest in peace to the boy Takeoff, man.
rest in peace.
We're gonna make sure we get that boy his love out there for a show.
It's time to talk politics.
Man, we gotta get it in today, I promise you. So we got special guests in the building today that's gonna be speaking to us live.
Yeah.
He is the city council president and pro tem
HP
and mayoral candidate Carlton D. Clyburn. He'll be coming up right after this break, y'all. So stand by. We'll be right back with Mr. Clyburn.
All right.
So what's going on while you're intermission?
No, we don't edit it. It's gonna be.
Okay.
We good. All right, don't say nothing that you don't want to be heard though, because it is connected live. Because I just unmuted it. Little disclaimer.
Right.
All right.
Mike Lawrence. All right, yeah.
And we're back to the Good Dope Podcast with your girl Marley Libby.
Yours truly, DJ here in house.
And our special guest,
Yes, sir.
Carlton D. Clyburn, City
Yes, sir.
Council President.
Yeah.
All right.
Mr. Clyburn, how are you, sir?
Excellent.
Oh,
Appreciate
man.
y'all.
Listen, man. I mean, I'm sure Marley got a bunch of questions. I got a bunch of questions.
We ain't got a lot, do you?
We gonna get
We
right
we gotta
into
get
it.
into it.
So,
Let's do it then.
first and foremost, if you would introduce yourself to the people out there so they'll be familiar with you.
All right, I'm Carlton D. Clyburn Jr., City Council President and Mayor Pro Tem for the City of Highland Park.
All right. So tell us, what does that even mean for the people that, we're going to just kind of backpedal a little bit, for the people that don't really understand what a city council president for a city means. You're not only a part of the team as a council member, but you're the president of the city council. So what does that mean, and what are some of the real challenges that you face being the president of the city council for the city of Highland Park?
That's a great question. And before I get into it, it's important that people start understanding what different positions are.
Yes.
When you're going out to vote, you got to understand who you voting for, why you voting for them, and the roles that they're going to be playing.
Right.
So as city council president, city council period is the legislative body of the government.
Okay.
So the mayor is head of the administrative body.
Right.
So the legislative body is in charge of the laws, ordinances, and the budget.
Okay.
So as the top legislator, my role is to chair the council meetings.
Okay.
And when you talk about challenges, so a lot of times you got to play referee.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of pulling and tugging. So
Let me interject real quick. So when you say play referee, you're playing referee between the legislative body and administration, or the legislative body and the community, or a little bit of all of it?
all of it.
Okay.
All of it, because the city council meetings are designed to run the business of the city.
Right.
So as the chair, that has to be in order. Okay, so by the time I get to the meetings, I do a lot of prep work.
Right.
So I'm familiar with, I ask the questions I need to ask so I can have the meeting flow as smoothly as possible. I also work to make sure that my colleagues have all the information that they need.
Okay.
That's what I attempt to do.
Okay.
Whether they,
read it or not.
But they have the information.
Okay.
It's important that I'm in touch with the city administrator, just to, talk about what's on the agenda, and also the legal department.
So now, does every city have a city administrator?
No.
Why does Highland Park have a city administrator?
Back in 2014, the city was, either we could have took an emergency manager or along with a city administrator. So we chose along with the city administrator. And that person is in place as long as we have this loan to make sure our finances are what they need to be. And this person reports directly to the state.
So you guys, so the city of Highland Park has a loan that needs to be paid back, but then there's also been various lawsuits as well. And with the city as small as 2.9 square miles, and help me remember the population of the city.
It's just around 9,000 last census tract.
So there's only so much money in the pot to go around.
Correct.
Right. So let's talk about something that's really hot and heavy. You got a press conference coming up, right? With talking about GLEWA and the water issues and all of those things. Can you bring us up to date about what's going on with that?
So GLEWA, Great Lakes Water Authority, when they took over from Detroit Water and Sewage Department, one of the first things they did was they wanted to get more money in the city. We had a fixed rate contract with Detroit at the time.
Yes.
Was transferred to GLEWA. They had an opportunity in 2013 to renegotiate that contract, but instead of renegotiating the contract, they chose to sue us.
Okay.
To attempt to get the money. And that lawsuit went on for quite some time. In 21, Highland Park was found to been overpaying.
Oh, wow.
And GLEWA actually owed us $1 million. So they ran a slander campaign, beat us up real bad in the press, hired a top media company to run the slander campaign, appealed the decision without presenting any new information.
And they won?
They won.
How is that possible?
They hired 100 lawyers and they ran the media slander campaign. So the judge didn't take any.
So basically it was overturned.
Yeah. So now we're going to the Supreme Court. What we want is to go to trial. But GLEWA don't want us to go to trial.
Of course not.
Can the city of Highland Park, and pardon me for the language, can the city of Highland Park, the people, the community, can they afford to take this to trial with all the legal fees that'll be associated with it?
Yes.
Okay. And so the press conference is to talk about that.
So one of the things that the city has to do because of all this unfair and racial injustice that we're going through is we had to do a program called 1550, which started today.
Okay.
So for 15 days, we're giving delinquent water users a chance to come in and pay 50% of that bill to make it current. Because right now we do have a judgment where we have to pay GLEWA some money this month. So we want to collect. We got about $4 million out uncollected. Most of those are big businesses, tax exempt people, other public bodies of government that owe us money. So right now we want an opportunity for them people to pay some money so we'll have something in the kitty so we can continue fighting the GLEWA battle until we're able to go to trial.
That's brilliant. So the press conference is really rallying around making sure the community understands that everybody needs to get behind this movement to make sure that you guys can at least stay in the race to make sure that you're making payments. And with that, you're also giving something back to the community by cutting their bill in half.
Yes. And what we need to understand is that we have to pull together. So it's one community. Yeah. So the businesses, the faith base, the residents, we have to stand strong because, this the other day, somebody came to town talking about they want to pay off our water debt. We don't have a water debt. we fighting that.
Right.
But again, that media slander, the press, but the residents feel like we owe it because it was such a heavy campaign. So this is just to assure people that no, the money that you pay monthly, because we are collected at 90%. So the residents are on board. Our water department is doing a great job billing, invoicing, and the residents are paying. Like I said, we're collecting at 90%. We just have some delinquents that's 3 years old who we're offering this amnesty to, because then, you have to pay your fair share.
Yeah.
More than ever now.
Right. So the residents are basically saying, wait a minute, after the slander campaign,
Mm-hmm.
wait a minute, we've been paying, we went through all of this,
Mm-hmm.
You guys turned off our water, we had to pay this, we had to pay that, we can't afford it. And you guys aren't, you're taking our money that we're paying and paying the bills. They think that you're taking the city is taking the money and doing something else.
Right. They're like, where's the money going?
Where's the money going?
I pay my bill every month.
Yeah.
How we owe them money?
Right. And life is about education.
Absolutely.
And so kudos to you for always educating
Mm-hmm.
and wanting to educate people on what the real thing is and what the real facts are. So did you have something to say about that? Why don't you tell us when the press conference is, where it's going to be, and what time?
It is it's going to be at the Island Park Water Facility,
Okay.
which is on DeQuinder.
Okay.
It's on the corner of DeQuinder and Riot It'll be at 2:00 tomorrow afternoon.
Okay.
So that's the second.
Okay. All right. And are you expecting like media to be out there as well?
Yep. We put it out there.
Okay.
And it's important, especially after last week press conference that the whatever that was.
Yeah.
The city's still trying to figure out what that was, and my phone has been ringing, emails.
Yeah.
What is this? What is this? And again, nothing ever came to the mayor's office. Nothing came to city council. So, we don't know.
Okay.
And right now, we're going to stay focused on what we have in front of us.
Do you find that, I'm sorry, HENHOUSE, do you find that there's a lot of individual groups, if you will, trying to do their own thing and thinking that they run the city in their own way because the city is so small?
What this look like is let's take advantage of it. Again, I don't know this group. I don't know what they're doing, but even in the past, when the city has been got,
yeah,
is you take advantage of it because they're not educated on what's going on.
Oh, what's going on?
They've been beat down for so long. Somebody come with a little, hey, a little shiny, a little sprinkle or something. Let's jump. Oh, yeah.
They think that, you're so poor. The city's so poor. We can just say, we can throw out this astronomical number and you guys are going to jump on it,
exactly.
if the number is real or not.
Yeah.
They did it with chicken for the DJs. I understand exactly what you come
They did it with chicken for COVID. It's a COVID shot.
Chicken for the DJs.
Pay us with some chicken. We'll do anything.
Right. So it's really important that the elected officials are standing strong, because these are the people that represent the people.
Yeah,
right?
Totally.
Because they voted us in, and they voted us in for a reason.
Totally.
Whether the people really understand or not, we still have a job to do, and that's to protect our community, and that's to make sure people are properly vetted when they come in. And, you can't just come in and say what you want to do.
Yeah.
We got a master plan. We got things. We got other plans. So you just can't come in and say, hey, this is what we're going to do, and that's it.
Right. Because people outside looking in like, they don't know what they doing. They don't have nothing together. They don't know. Yeah, they not professional. They this and they that. But you're like, oh, wait, hold on. Yes, we are. We got it together.
There's proper channels to go through.
Right. Well, let me ask you that. When we kind of shifting gears here, I want to talk about your campaign.
Okay.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
My first question to you is, what in your mayoral campaign do you feel is the strongest point for you versus, let's say, the other campaigns?
My experience. My vision, my resources, my team.
Tell me about your experience.
Okay, so I've been working for the city for over 10 years. And my role at the city was code enforcement. And code enforcement is huge, because what code enforcement did was it gave me the opportunity to go into the community.
Yeah.
So I'm block by block talking to residents, seeing, hearing, and when developers come in, they come to me.
Mm-hmm.
When people are building, they come to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like that first line of defense.
Yeah.
The plug.
So anybody that came in and want to buy property, bought property, they all seen me. So I've built relationships.
Yeah.
And I see and I know, and I kind of was able to weed through some of the good, some of the bad. That's huge. But before that, I was working in the community, through service organizations. So even before that, I have my youth programs. I'm working with the seniors. I'm working, with community action organizations. So all of that led me to this because when I first started building and working in my community, I had no thoughts of running for anything.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to be a community active. I wanted to make sure my babies was good. And I call my babies the seniors and the children.
Yeah.
Because those are the most.
That is the community.
That's the community.
Those are the ones that can't fight for themselves.
And so many times we overlook the children. It's like even not like nobody talking about the children. Even with the schools, okay, schools are important, but let's really, really talk about the children. Schools is one part of it, but you got out of school time. Let's talk about that. That's where
very important.
That's where the children really make their bones, whether they're going to go bad or good. Is the out of school time.
Yeah. And
that's important. I mean, that needs to have constructive activity, and that's huge. So everything got to work together. So working with the youth at that capacity really drove me to this. So I'll talk about the resources. I've just through my experience and in my other fields, I've built very good relationships with a lot of people. Mm-hmm. So I have relationships at every level of the government. Mm-hmm. DC, Lansing, the county, and it's about pulling, and people are ready.
Yeah.
It's about sitting down at the table, pulling these resources together, being that voice and promoting my city. I'm a promoter, I'm a marketer. Highland Park is a brand. This municipal corporation that needs help. But we're good. You know what I'm saying? It's like 2.97 square miles. We have everything we need. We just got to reach out, grab it, put a plan together, sit down, and move it forward.
And I love that you said that because HENHOUSE, we were talking about it on one of the shows. I don't know, it could have been as early as last week, where we were saying that you have to have relationships with your governor. You have to have relationships with the city of Detroit's mayor.
Everybody.
And Hamtramck mayor and every other mayor in the city. And you have to understand sometimes just making sure that you're available to the resources, that it can be something that they can give to you as a city, something that they want to see you benefit from, something that you can partnership on for the betterment of both communities.
When I took office in 20, even before that, by me being approachable in the different circles that I'm in, people were excited. People were excited. Said, "Man, Highland Park. Look, I was going into rooms where it was already a plan for Highland Park. Outsiders, it's like it was with RTA.
I believe that.
It's like, what's going on? It's like, well, we can't get in touch with anybody in Highland Park. They know we can't get anybody from Highland Park to the table, but we got all these great. We got resources. We got this. We got that. So okay, we're gonna get to that. So in 20, when I took office, and I started going to the different conferences before the pandemic. I was doing all of the MML conventions, the SIMCOB, MML, Michigan Municipal League, the Southeast Michigan Council of Government, and I'm in the room, and when they see Highland, they say, Highland Park, somebody from Highland Park here? And I said, it was like, wow, at the end of the events, there was a line of people to talk to me every time.
Yeah, I've experienced that before.
And they had great stories.
Yeah.
Like, well, my grandfather was there, my brother from there.
Yeah.
We got this, and I remember this. It's like
great athletes,
excitement.
Yeah.
Actors, actresses.
It's excitement, and people really want to see Highland Park return.
Of course. Of course.
But it's going to take the right team to make that happen, and that's what I bring to the table. I have the temperament for it. I have the education for it. Like I said, I have the team for it, and we're ready to move this thing to the next level.
All right, just in your elevator pitch, for the people that don't know, that will be looking and listening to this podcast and being so impressed with even what you've said thus far, 30-second elevator pitch of what Highland Park used to be.
It was the birthplace of the middle class. It's where we put the world on wheels, and we had a world-class educational system. People was leaving our schools being able to have careers. We had, if you lived in Highland Park, you went to college for free. At our Highland Park Community College, we still had a charter from K through 14. So Highland Park was the model city, period.
I'm proud of you. And you did that so well.
Yeah, that was interesting.
If I'd have asked you that question 5 years ago, you'd have been like, wait a minute,
let me ask you this. What do you think the biggest concerns is for the citizens of Highland Park right now?
It's the water. It's the battle with Gleewood. This is going to determine our future. You know, it's a couple different ways it can go. But if people really don't understand what's going on, what the real plan is, this is racial injustice at its finest. This is a land takeover. So let's say Gleewood wins. Let's say Gleewood get to do what they want to do. So now we have a Wayne County Land Bank in Highland Park, right? They own tons of property. We have a state land bank.
tons of property.
We'll have a Gleewood land bank, because what this would do is they will be able to put levies on people's homes, and they will be foreclosing on people's homes
And businesses.
and businesses.
And then that means that the city of Highland Park
Loses out.
has this much stake
It's gone.
in the game.
It's gone.
And you, with this much stake in the game, people, that leaves you no negotiating power,
It
no
leaves us-
no leverage at all.
Because now we have no tax base.
Yeah.
We're done.
Yeah.
You know, and that that's criminal.
Yeah.
It should
You know,
be.
that's criminal.
It should be.
So here is what I want to say, if I may have just for a second. And I know you got to go, but this is so good, and I have such a huge heart for the city of Highland Park. But here's what I want to say. I want to say that when you're voting people for someone, when you're trying to put somebody in office, you need to understand that they understand what the problems are, and they have a clear and precise plan as to how to fix them.
Exactly.
Because if you just elect someone
Off the love.
in this position for the city of Highland Park that has no clue, no way of fixing it, no relationships, no know-how, and just doing it off the sake of wanting to have that name and that title, but don't know how to actually physically, mentally, and resourcefully save the city.
You hurt the city.
You're not only hurting the city, but you're participating in the city being taken away from you
And your children. And your children. That's the part of it right there. It is, for me, and a disclaimer, yes, I am a part of the committee. But in the same token, when I sit back and I'm looking at the other individuals that are involved in this situation, and we talking about who's actually in place right now to pick up, it's no different than Barack Obama just said a couple of days ago on stage. Do you want to put this guy in office, or do you want to put this person in office? If I'm going to take a choice between, if I'm going in here and I'm playing football, you going to ask me to run the city, or I'm going to run the football for you?
Right.
Those are your choices right now.
Right.
To me, for the city of Highland Park, there's no way in the world you get past the idea that here's your council president, Mayor Pro Tem, that's already on the day-to-day information of what's going on throughout the city.
Yeah.
He's
not only that,
the top legislator.
Not only that, what I've noticed so Detroit is such a big city, right? So you got people that I'm from Detroit. I die hard for my city. I die hard for Detroit. But it's cities like Highland Park and Ecorse and Inkster where the people that live in Highland Park, you're fourth generation.
Fourth generation, yep. My
And you're still there. I mean, you're still there because you wouldn't be the city council president,
Right.
but you never left. You never wavered. You never said, as soon as I get my education, which might have, mind you guys, he's got one of the smartest men I know, highly educated, but you didn't take your degrees and run to Atlanta.
Right.
You didn't take your degrees and run to DC or wherever else, Houston or wherever everybody else is going. You wanted to stay
in your community.
This is some of the most fulfilling work I've done. Not monetarily, of course.
Right.
But
I was gonna say that.
I took a huge hit, but it's fine.
I was gonna say that.
This is about because when I was, in my careers in the world, I did well. I got to see some things.
Yeah, you've been there, did that.
Yeah.
Now it stopped being fulfilling for you.
Like to have an opportunity to rebuild your community, the community that raised you, that set your foundation, it's huge. It's one of the things so for the youth programs, when I first started working with them, I sat back, I said, damn, we've been doing the wrong thing. We've been telling our people the way to make it is to get out your community. You got to get out, and that's what we've been championing. Like the way, so if we get all the good talent, good stock, we build them up to leave. Who rebuilds the city?
Right. Exactly.
I love that.
So we do a 360. So what we've been putting in place is, and it's just a little tweak.
So smart.
It's called a 360-degree program, right? You come in, you build yourself up, you go do some things, but you come back, you have a responsibility to come back and help the next year. Yep. And it's been working. So we see a lot of the children, a lot of the young men that left our programs, the wrestling program, the football program, even some of the ladies that left the cheerleading program. You go back to the programs that are still going on. You see them. Now they're coaching. Now they're telling us, and I've heard some of the youngest, like, you know what? One of the biggest mistakes I made was this. Hey, when they say that, you got to listen to them. So coming from somebody that more relatable, these people are in their 20s, we're in our 40s, 50s, whatever, they're like, yeah, whatever. You don't know nothing. Because for whatever reason, children think like we don't know anything.
Right.
Same as we thought about our parents.
Right? I'll give you that.
Yeah,
absolutely. But when you get somebody like this that maybe played in the league for a couple of years, or was a standout at college, and now they right there in their face where they more relatable. Ain't nobody see me in the programs play college football.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We still have old school net roles and stuff. But they actually seen these guys playing and active and doing their thing. Now they right here. Like, I was like, I played, I played right here. I live right here. My people still right here.
Right.
This is what you need to be doing. They're going to listen to them a lot more.
Yeah.
Right? And that's what it's about. So we got to start building those gaps. Now, let's move with the politics. Right now, Black folks is in trouble. We have no representation.
Period.
And I look at it as that's because we didn't do our due diligence to make sure we was building up our youth to replace us. We can't keep doing that.
Facts.
So we have to make sure that the 20-year-olds, the 30-year-olds that's, becoming aware, we let them know, hey, it's important for you to do this. It's important for you to know what's going on. It's important for you to take responsibility for your community and run. Do some, get involved, get on the committee, get on the board, learn something, that's so important. And that we just got to start changing the narrative.
It's important.
Don't.
Can't
blame nobody. Where we gonna be?
Right.
We know true.
I literally I feel so bad because yesterday I went to DSLA, Detroit Service Learning Academy, which is one of my clients. Shout out to D'Angelo Alexander, who's the school principal and leader and all of that. And he just sent me a message like, hey, I need some help and with some trunk or treating, if you can just come. And so I went, but y'all don't know this. So I went and the freeway was blocked off there right on Gloucester and 7 Mile.
Mm-hmm.
So 96 was blocked off, so I was detoured, and then I finally got on the right road. So I grew up in 2 neighborhoods in Detroit. My grandparents lived in the Boston Edison district, and I lived there part of my life. But my parents, we grew up in the Brightmoor district. And when I drove through, it's a forgotten town.
What?
When I tell you, I was literally crying, driving through the city of Detroit. I'm like, who is the representation? And that's something I said I was going to do today, because I'm like, who's repping this area?
Right.
Have y'all been? Literally, it looked like
like
a third world country. Mm-hmm. It is so awful. Mm-hmm. It was pretty when I lived over there, but that's when the crack epidemic first started, really becoming really bad, and we moved out of the area.
Yeah.
But when I tell you, it's like a forgotten town, and so how does that? So it's like for me yesterday, all I kept thinking about, and when you're talking about your community, I want to do something. I want to go over and do something to rebuild it up, because it's like nobody cares.
Well, we had a point where we at that age where you got to go back and look at that stuff, because like we think about these historic buildings, these neighborhoods have history in us too.
It's nothing but burnt up everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you're right. So it's like, and I'm at fault. Right. I grew up and I moved away I mean, not out of Michigan, but
we
out
came
of
up under,
my town.
We came up under the same thing that he was just talking about, which
Yeah.
was get grown, get out of here, so you can help
and
your
come
community.
back. So
Yeah,
now, and
yeah.
that's a great point, because so now that I saw that,
Right. You want
it's
more
my
of that.
duty. Now
Yeah.
that I know, it's one thing when you don't know what you don't know.
What you don't know, right?
But when you know what you know you need to do,
Right.
and I know I need to
Do
go
that.
back and do something,
Right.
whether
There
it's
you
just
go.
take a food bank over there, grab up
There
some
you go.
kids and take them some, I don't even know.
Right.
But whatever it is, if anybody's, once we put this out there watching, I want you guys to, if you guys have that same sentiment, like, we have to do something with that
Right,
right-born
right,
community
yeah.
as well.
Now, I do hear some things getting ready to happen over there. Yes.
But it's not one or two things can
Oh, yeah,
happen.
yeah.
Because it's a whole
lot.
It's a whole lot of work
Yeah.
needs to happen over
Right.
there.
But that's to be said about the east side and the west side. I mean, we just throughout the entire city. But again, we just at that point where we need our communities more than ever to kind of everybody get tied in, because that's the main thing.
We need to share information.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, so that's another thing. When I go to these conventions, I'm able to talk to different other elected officials. Like, what kind of issues you got?
Mm-hmm.
How did y'all face it? Or what you going through? Or what didn't work? What
Right.
didn't? So when you start with, we got this program. So I'm in touch with the mayor of Saginaw. Me and the mayor of Inkster real tight. So we communicate.
Right.
Hey, be on the lookout for this. This is
Right.
coming down the pipeline.
Right. Absolutely. That's
You know,
You're a part of the network.
And then it's up to the elected officials to make sure the community gets it. So now we got to champion and be the biggest promoter and cheerleader for these resources for our communities.
Would you agree that that's a part of transparency and that's something that you will bring to the administration?
Absolutely. Listen, absolutely, because I need residents to know what's going on. I need business leaders to know what's going on. I need faith-based leaders to know what's going on. And we all need to sit at the table and talk about it.
Right. Absolutely.
Because they have resources, they have wants and needs.
So you're saying that ultimately, at the end of the day, you step into the mayor's office and that day one, you opening up the olive branch, or you extend it to the faith-based networks and the other stakeholders of the city, saying, hey, let's sit down and let's make this thing happen.
Well, I've already started doing it.
Okay.
So that's the thing about you. But let's talk about that. Let's talk about that, because so I'm a publicist by trade, right? And so when I get candidates wanting to run for something, it's like they just woke up one day and a light bulb came on and said, oh, I want to run for something.
Exactly.
Well, what have you done in your community to say that you want to be a mayor of a big city? What have you done in your community to say that you want to be a governor? What have you done in your community to say that you want to be a council person?
Have you been in the community?
Have you done anything? But this brother right here, Carlton D. Clyburn, his whole story is about what he's done. And the moment, and I know this for a fact, the moment that you decided, I'm going to do this and I can do this, you amped up what you were doing in the community. That never wavered for you.
Right.
That never wavered.
Right.
And that shows me that when you become the mayor of the city of Highland Park, that it's not going to waver. It's just going to increase.
He doesn't have a choice, because he's created such a high bar.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Such a high bar. And again, speaking from this inside experience, I know, like you, the passion that's in his heart and mind in regards to the city of Highland Park.
Yeah.
And the bigger thing about it is, I always like to mention that they always say about who's inside and who's outside, but at the point you're able to bring so many different people into Highland Park yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're your own ambassador for the city just because of your network alone. And see, for the outside, they may not understand it. They may not be able to grasp it. It may be too much for them. Even some of the residents, lifelong residents, all these people from out of town, none of them live here. But they bring energy and attention to your city. They doing promotion and marketing for your city. They draw people to your city.
Yeah, one thing I'm gonna say,
we got
that's right.
some fuels moving in the city.
That's right.
Right.
One thing I'm gonna say, if you keep doing the same stuff that you've been doing, you're gonna keep getting the same results.
Absolutely.
At some point, you need to trust yourself and do something different so you can get different and better results.
Fair enough.
Is there anything else you want to say,
Yeah, I
Carlton
want
D.
to say,
Clyburn, from there?
please, give us a spiel.
A few things. Just our election process was attacked, so we running this write-in. So it's a heavy write-in campaign.
Okay.
Our civil liberties were attacked. So it's very different now. Most people that vote, most voters, they're not used to this, and it's a very confusing ballot, but it's some very important things going on this ballot. Prop 2, Prop 3, we're talking about voter rights. We're talking about women's rights. That's huge. So
I'm glad you brought that up. I didn't know if you wanted to talk about that, but I definitely want to talk about Proposal 3.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We have an opportunity to place a Black woman on the Supreme Court.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's huge. I mean, this election is really going to affect what goes on in the next presidential election. It's going to affect our children. It's going to affect our communities.
Yeah, definitely.
And I want to say I had went to an awesome event yesterday. Senator Ollier and County Exec Warren Evans brought in Senator Cory Booker, and the message is, the Black male vote. Okay, Black women been holding it down. The queen warriors that you have been holding the community down for as long as you have. It's time for Black men to step up and stand at your side and vote and retake power and control of the community. Because for years, I mean, just sitting in that room with all the awesome people, Senator Bullock, Tyrone Carter's, the Marvin B's, I mean, all of these people in the room. And it was a great room. It was an awesome room. And the message is Black men can change a lot. It's across the country. Cory Booker right now going across the country talking about the power of the Black male vote. Because right now everybody knows the Black woman is going to vote. The Black woman is going to stand strong. The Black woman, the Black man has to step up and stand with the Black woman now to regain control of our civil liberties and our communities. Yeah. And that's, we got to do it, fellas.
Right, absolutely.
We got to join our queen warrior women.
Oh, in more ways than one, honey. Let me tell you.
I know. I heard the beginning of that. I said, I got things to do. We can be here all day talking about the atmosphere. I don't know what's going on. It's like, what is going on? It's like almost I went to sleep and woke up and everything
was different.
Right. Like I couldn't have went to sleep for that long.
But that's so interesting, and you're right. We could talk about that all day because everything is different.
Completely.
It makes you feel like it makes you feel displaced.
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna keep waking up as long as you let me. But I don't know what I'm going to do.
Where am I? What's happening?
Brother Craig, let me ask you this. As far as the campaign is concerned, let our people know where they can contact you at if they got any questions, if they may want to donate to the campaign. I don't know if you're still in that phase.
Absolutely.
As far as the
fundraising is the mother milk of politics.
You gotta pay for stuff. You gotta pay for stuff.
Shout out to the kitchen cabinet too. I want to give a big shout out to Jamil Barton,
Big brain,
campaign manager.
He's been holding it down. So
give me information.
So we do have a website. It's www.clyburnforhpmayor.com.
Say it one more time, nice and slow.
Oh yeah, I was gonna spell it also.
Okay, cool, beautiful. We need that.
I was gonna say it. I was gonna spell it. I was gonna say it again.
He was gonna do the 3-prong approach.
Yeah,
he know marketing.
He know marketing.
It's a 3-prong approach.
First you gotta say it.
Touch it, feel it, touch it.
So it's www.clyburnforhpmayor. That's www.clyburnforhpmayor.com. www.clyburnforhpmayor.com.
I would ask you
understood the assignment,
but I don't even want to stress you on that.
All of my social media links you can get from the website.
All right, there you go. That's safe.
I got buttons on them.
There you go. That's safe. That's what we do.
Well, for nothing else, you know how to market some stuff after all of this, right? You like the king of branding.
It's real simple, It's, they got experts for that.
Yeah.
Right. Also, listen. So we'll be on deck next week. We're gonna do the show remotely live.
Yeah.
Follow you around for a couple, 2-3 minutes and doing the campaign tour.
We're gonna be from headquarters.
It's
so exciting.
I'm so I'm telling you,
about it.
Week.
I can't wait to have another one in the morning.
I'm telling you, I can't wait.
I'm have another one in the morning.
Because
it's like Christmas. You waiting for Christmas.
Because the election process got so jacked up,
right?
We didn't have a primary,
right?
So it's like we've been going hard since March.
Yeah.
Right? We took a little break because of all the court cases and things of that nature. But it's like, okay, come on, and my team, I mean, it's like I can't say enough about it because they've been holding me down the whole time. Without a victory at a primary, without that fulfillment midway through.
Knowing that like,
we just, and then taking the hits and the shots, and we got love for each other. So when I'm attacked, they feel attacked, and it's now you got to play referee. Like, hey, come on, we're just gonna stay focused, But it's like to stay focused this long is a tribute. You know what I mean? It's like it's like I say,
But that says a lot about your leadership skills to be able to first identify when you said you were going to do this, to identify that you needed a team, to identify there's some people that came and they left and they, whatever the case may be, but to identify that you needed a team, one, to keep the team that you've had from when you ran for city council.
Yeah, so 19.
And to still be going strong running for mayor.
Yeah, because we never stopped.
Yeah.
We stay active in the community, even.
And you're never going to stop.
No,
even when you run for mayor, the same team is going to be still going to the senior buildings and the youth and the this and the community. So yeah, absolutely, and that's what it takes.
You know how infectious Highland Park is.
Yeah.
You got a little taste of it. You could.
You see my sign still up there.
When the dope is good.
When the dope is good.
The dope is good. Sell itself.
See?
Listen, I'm just waiting to come back because I'm waiting on my brother to win so I can get, because I still have constituents who calls me, like literally.
Because people, you inform people.
Yeah.
Right.
And people want to be informed.
Yeah.
One of the biggest things I learned in code enforcement is that they may not always want to, their problems or issues solved. They just want to talk to someone.
Yeah.
Yep.
And to give them an ear to be able to say, I can contact this person.
And they got to be able to trust you too.
Absolutely.
Because if you're not a Highland Parker, they're going to be looking at you cross-eyed like, where you come from and what you want?
I got that. You know what I mean? No, I'm
where you come from?
Highland Park.
What you want?
It's funny because, I'm Clyburn and the family name is Starks. So as we out here, a lot of people like, oh, what do people, when I say Starks, they're like, oh, your uncle's this, or, they remember my grandmother, so a lot of, even I was working for the city, and doing everything I was doing in the community. A lot of people didn't know. They was looking like, where he come from? Like, like he's indebted in the city, But then when my grandmother passed in 2012, that's when people realized who I was. They're like, oh, you them. Like, it's real, your cousin is such and such. Like, yeah, that's my cousin.
I miss that though. Like that's where we're missing. Like that's why we feel so lost and disconnected.
Yeah.
Because of all of our people are they're kind of just
displaced.
Displaced.
Yep.
All right, well, thank you for coming on the Good Dope Podcast. I haven't interviewed you in so long. It's been such a pleasure.
Yeah, it's been great.
It's been good. Thank you for coming on.
Appreciate y'all.
Yeah.
November 8th.
November 8th. Make it great.
Highland Park wins when you write me in.
Write me in. Good Dope Podcast. I just got to make sure I get my weekly plugs in. Don't forget live from the Office Ultra Lounge NBA Wednesdays coming up Thursday night football and Craft Cannabis Club, and don't forget about the big bus trip coming November 12th and 13th going to Chicago. It's a blues cruise. We're not celebrating the Lions no more. Yeah, I changed the flyer and everything.
Man, it's the Lions. Lions
I changed the flyer and
everything.
everything.
To the Super Bowl.
I'd rather get drunk.
The Lions been lying to us all these years.
We're going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, we're not going to the Super Bowl.
Stop lying to me, liars.
Y'all make sure y'all tune in next week for the Good Dope Podcast. Yours truly, DJ HENHOUSE, my partner.
Hey, your girl, MARLI.
We'd like to thank y'all for hanging out with us. Good night. Peace.
Peace out. Enjoy your week.